The Fermi Paradox. Where are all the aliens? Are we the only living things in the entire universe? Or are we the only intelligent beings capable of communicating with other civilizations? The observable universe is about 90 billion light-years in diameter. There are at least 100 billion galaxies, each with about 100 to 1,000 billion stars. We recently learned that planets are very common and there are probably trillions and trillions of habitable planets in the universe, which means there should be plenty of opportunities for life to exist and develop, right? But where is everyone then? Shouldn't the universe be teeming with spaceships? Let's take a step back. Even if alien civilizations exist in other galaxies, there is no way we will ever know about them. Basically, everything outside our immediate galactic neighborhood, the so-called local group, is pretty much out of our reach forever, due to the expansion of the universe. Even if we had very fast spaceships, it would literally take billions of years to get to these places, traveling through the emptiest areas in the universe. So, let's focus on the Milky Way. The Milky Way is our own galaxy, consisting of up to 400 billion stars, and this is a lot of stars, about 10,000 for every grain of sand on Earth. There are about 20 billion sun-like stars in the Milky Way, and estimates suggest that 1/5 of them have an Earth-sized planet in their habitable zone. That is, an area with conditions suitable for the existence of life. If only 0.1% of these planets harbored life, there would be 1 million planets with life in the Milky Way. But wait a minute, there's more. The Milky Way is about 13 billion years old. In the beginning, it would not have been a good place for life, because things were exploding a lot. But after 1 or 2 billion years, the first habitable planets were born. The Earth is only 4 billion years old, so there must have probably been trillions of chances for life to develop on other planets in the past. If just a single one of them had developed into a super civilization capable of space travel, we would have already noticed. Many say we have already noticed. What would this civilization look like? If you haven't subscribed yet and you're enjoying this topic, now would be a good time to subscribe and share this valuable information. Well, now that you've done that, let's go. There is a scale that helps us categorize and classify civilizations, based on their level of technology. It's called the Kardashev Scale, and according to it there are 3 categories. A Type 1 civilization would be able to access all the energy available on its planet. And in case you're wondering, we are currently around 0.73 on the scale, and should reach Type 1 at some point in the next 200 years. Type 2 would be a civilization capable of harnessing all the energy of its star. This would require some unusual science fiction, but it is possible in principle. Concepts like the Dyson sphere, a giant complex around the sun, would be conceivable. Type 3 is the civilization that basically controls its entire galaxy and its energy. An advanced alien race like this would probably be considered a deity to us. But why should we be able to detect an alien civilization in the first place? If we were to build generations of spaceships that could sustain a population for about 1,000 years, we could colonize the galaxy in 2 million years. It sounds like a long time, but remember, the Milky Way is huge. So, if it takes a couple of million years to colonize the entire galaxy, and there are possibly millions, if not billions, of life-sustaining planets in the Milky Way, and these other life forms have already had much more time than us to do this. So where are all the aliens? This is the Fermi Paradox, and no one has an answer to it. But, we do have some ideas. Let's talk about filters. A filter in this context represents a barrier that is very difficult for life to overcome. They come in various scary degrees. 1. There are great filters, and we have already passed them. Maybe it is harder for complex life to develop than we thought. The process that allows life to begin has not yet been completely discovered, and the required conditions can be very complicated. Perhaps in the past, the universe was much more hostile, and only recently have things cooled down to make complex life possible. This would also mean that we may be unique, or at least, one of the first, if not the first civilization in the entire universe. 2. There are great filters, and they are ahead of us. This would be really very bad. Perhaps life at our level exists everywhere in the universe, but it is destroyed when it reaches a certain point, a point that is ahead of us. For example, incredible technology exists in the future, but when activated, it destroys the planet. The last words of any advanced civilization would be, "This new device will solve all our problems. As soon as I press this button," if this is true, then we are closer to the end than to the beginning of human existence. Or maybe there is an ancient Type 3 civilization that monitors the universe, and once a civilization becomes advanced enough, it is eliminated. In an instant, maybe there is something out there that would be better not to discover. There is no way for us to know. One last thought, maybe we are alone. At this moment, we have no evidence that there is any life besides us. This is without considering the famous Area 51. Nothing. The universe seems to be empty and dead. No one to send us messages. No one to answer our calls. We may be completely alone, stuck on a small wet ball of mud in an eternal universe. Does this thought scare you? If it does, you are having the correct emotional reaction. If we let life on this planet die, there may be no more life in the universe. Life would cease to exist, perhaps forever. If this is the case, we simply have to take a risk towards the stars and become the first Type 3 civilization to keep the delicate flame of existing life and to spread it until the universe breathes its last breath and disappears into oblivion. The universe is too beautiful not to be experienced by someone. Leave your comments and subscribe to Uncharted Abysses to dive even deeper into the secrets of the cosmos. See you next time. Subscribe to Uncharted Abysses and dive deep into the most fascinating enigmas of the cosmos.